Hello guys, in this video I'm going to teach you about built-in data type in C Sharp. So built-in data type in C Sharp are the data type which are provided by C Sharp to us. For example, in the last videos I have used a data type like int x, right? So this int is a data type which tells or which gives us the information that the variable x is a variable which is used to hold the integer values. Like this int, there are more variable or more data types in C sharp for us which we can use in different situations. Now, in order to see these built-in data type, we can go to MSDN website, which is from Microsoft. And first of all, if you want to search for this, you can just search for built-in types in C sharp and just click the first link here. And this is the link. So built-in data types are like this. This is a list of built-in data type in C sharp. So bool, byte, sbyte, char, decimal, double, and there is a whole list of these data types. And all this belongs to system namespace. Now, for example, bool, you want to declare a bool. This belongs to system.boolean namespace. So there is a list of namespaces also to which every data type belongs to. Now, in order to see the range of these data type, there is a data type called byte whose range is 0 to 255, which is an integer. So if you see here in the first link, there is a list of topics here. So first topic is integral types table. Integral type table is nothing but the number data type which you can declare in C sharp. So this can be S byte, which is signed byte and whose range is minus 128 to 127. Byte is 0 to 255. There is a char short whose range is minus 32,000 something to plus 32,000. Unsigned short int, which we were using, its range is minus 2 billion to plus 2 billion something, right? And if you want to declare unsigned integer which start from 0, then its range will be 0 to 4 billion, right? And if you want to show a bigger number, you can use long and ulong. So these are the integer values or unsigned integer values, right? Now in order to declare decimal point or floating point, they have something like floating point data types, and the main floating point data types are float and double. Float has a range which with the precision 7 digits, and the double has the range with a precision 15 to 16 digits. So if you want to declare a floating data type which contains points in between 1.0 something, this type of data type is declared using float or double. Okay. Now there is something called default data type. So what are the default here? If I click this default value table, there is a list of default values for every data type. So whenever you declare a bool, for example, its default value or it will be initialized as a false value, right? And byte, its default value is 0. Char, its default value is slash null, which is null terminator. Decimal has the default value 0.0. So there is a list of default value. Default means by default, if you don't assign any value, this default is assigned to them, right? Now this is all these tables here, so you can always go to this MSDN Sci website and see this. Okay, there is a one important data type called string data type, which contains a string of Unicode characters, which we are going to discuss in this video later. So let's see how we can declare the variable or data type once again. So for example, I want to declare a bool data type, bool x. Then we need to initialize it by true or false. So bool contains true or false, right? And when you want to show the value of x, you can just print it by console write. So you can write console dot write, and you can just print this. Okay, and when you run this program, it will build and run. It will give you true because the value of x is true. And if you give it false, then it will show the value false here. Okay, in some languages you can also provide the value 0 or 1 to bool, but in C# you can only provide true or false to the boolean variables. So I think you have now the basic idea of declaring the variables with a data type. Now if you want, so if I have already told you here that every data type has some range, right, which is 0 to 255 or 128 to 127 for sign byte. You don't need to remember these ranges. For example, if you want to find out the range using C#, what you can do is, for example, I will declare a variable int, and I want to know the minimum range of this int. What I can do is I can just print double quotes, for example, and I can write minimum int range, and with this plus sign I can get the minimum range of integer. So I will just copy this int data type here, and I will say dot, and there are some options. So min value and max value is some options. So I will just take this min value, and when I run the program, it says the minimum range is minus this, which also matches the integer range minus this, right? So you can find the minimum values or the maximum values using this min and max value for every data type, right? For example, if you want to see the maximum range of int, you can just write dot max value, and here you can write max range, maximum range of int. Okay, or you can just use it here also, minimum range of int, and just run your program once again, and you see here minimum range of int is minus 2 billion and maximum range is something like this. Okay, so you can always find the minimum and maximum value using this C# code also. Now in the last video I have also shown you how to use this string data type. So I have shown you can declare a string data type like this, string. For example, you want to name your variable as name, and this string data type contains this any string or any Unicode string within these double quotes. So I can just assign the value to this name variable as this is our name, some string. Okay, so in order to assign a value to a string, you need to include these double quotes here, right? Now there is something called escape sequence. So escape sequence is a letter or a symbol which we can use to escape the character. For example, you want to print double quotes inside your string, and for I will give the double quotes here and here, for example. So I want to print this is the name with the double quotes, but when I include these double quotes here, it will show me the error. The code will show me the error, because whenever you just declare a double quote, it will consider this as a string, and this other is extra code, which this C sharp code cannot understand, because I have already told you, whenever you declare a string, its value is inside double quotes, and your double quotes are already here, right? So in order to print this double quote here and double quote here, you need to use escape sequence, and escape sequence in C sharp is a backslash, this one, and here, this one, not here but here. And so if you want to print this double quote here, just before this you need to give this escape sequence here, which is a slash symbol. Then we will be able to print this name inside double quotes. So let's run the code once again. I will just print this and I will remove this. This is the name here. Okay, I will run the program now, and you see here the this is a name is inside these double quotes, now printed inside these double quotes, right? And there is a list of these escape sequence in C sharp which you can use. So let's see what are these this list in C sharp. So when you search for escape sequence in C sharp, in MSTN, you can see there is a list of escape sequence here, and we have just used this double quotation for printing double quotation. We have used this escape sequence. Now in order to change the line, there is escape sequence like this slash n. When you give this, it will print your values in new line, right? Or you, if you want to give a horizontal tab, you will just write slash t. So let's see an example now. So for example, I want to print this name in different lines. This is a name, so I want to change the line. So what can I do? I will use slash n here, and I can use slash n here and slash n here. Now this is a name will be printed in new line in 4 lines. So let's see what is the result here, and you can see here this is a name is printed in every new line here, right? So you can see this list, and you can decide what escape sequence you want, and you can use this escape sequence. Now for example, you want to print the path of a file. You can use, because the path of a file in Windows contains this backslash itself, right? So for example, I have a path in somewhere for some file, and I want to print this path. So I will copy this path and I will just paste it here. And as soon as you paste your path, it will show you the error because this slash is a escape sequence, and it will not allow you to print this path because it's a wrong way of printing path. Let me change the variable name first, and we are going to print this path here. So for the escape sequence of slash, if you want to print slash here, you see here escape sequence of backslash is this double slashes. So if you want to print this path, you need to give double slashes for every slash. Okay, so I have provided double slash for every slash, and when I print this path, you see here it's printing only a single slash, even though we have provided the double slash here, because double slash is a escape sequence of slash. Okay, now whenever you print this type of path, or whenever you need to print this type of path, whenever some other user sees it, he will be confused because it doesn't look good when you print this path like this. So in C sharp there is something called verbatim literal, and by using this verbatim literal you can ignore your escape sequence. You don't need to write this escape sequence. Whenever you use this verbatim literal before a string, it will print the string as it is. So let me just give you the name. With this literal is called verbatim string literal, right? And verbatim string literal in C sharp is this, at the rate, this symbol, right? So for example, I want to just print this path without these escape sequences. How can I do it? I will just add this verbatim literal before my string. And now whatever you write after this verbatim literal, it will literally print this string. It will literally take this string and print it. Okay. So now when you run the program, it will print your path as it is. You don't need to give any escape sequence or anything else. For example, I want to print this. This is a path, and I want to print it in double quotes. I can just give these double quotes here, and it says error. So you need to use this verbatim literal only with paths, right? It will not work with any other variable or any other string. So this is wrong, right? We were just able to print the path and not any other string. No, this is not true. In order to print this, this is a path, for example, in double quotes, you need to give this whatever is the escape sequence. What, for example, this quote, you need to double these things. Okay. So whatever is the escape sequence, for example, this double quotes in C sharp, you need to give double quotes, right? So it will print it like this. I will just print it, and it will print it. This is a path. So whenever you print a path with a verbatim literal, which is this at the rate symbol, you just need to give the path, right? But whenever you want to print something for which you need to use escape sequence, you need to double that thing. For example, you want to print double quote, just provide 2 times double quote here and 2 times double quote here, and verbatim literal will understand this 2 time double quote as a single quote here, right? So just remember this thing. So what we have learned in this video, we have learned different data types in C sharp. We have learned escape sequence with string data type, and we have learned verbatim literal, which is this at the rate symbol in C sharp. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.